You have something special. You have greatness in you. I am so excited. I have two special guests. Got to put on my Walgreen glasses up in here. Up in here is Dr. Richard and Mrs. Dr. Nephetina Serrano, and this interview really is about the family. It's about marriage, about building community, and I just want to share some things about the ambassador, Dr. Nephetina L. Serena, and what they have done. They're relationship experts, and they have the marriage CEO. And so I just love the things that you've done, Dr. Nephetina. You are United Nations Ambassador for Peace, relationship expert, counselor, evangelist, award-winning, 8-time best-selling author and mentor. Come on now. Woman of Achievement, First African American Legacy Queen 2023. She co-hosts the Serena Show and the Serrano Show, and she is a recipient of the 44th President's Legacy Lifetime Achievement Award, signed by President Barack Obama 2023 and Joe Biden 21, 22. And she and her husband, they co-authored a book, The Marriage Corporation, which highlights the organizational needs of a covenant marriage. She is the owner of Serrano Legacy Publishing and the publisher of Marriage CEO magazine for the entrepreneur who leads. Now, I want to ask the two of you, how did you meet?
Wow. We met, I was a senior in high school.
Well, first we want to thank you for
Yes.
having us on your show. We've been watching you for years. Our
Mhm.
pastor had you over to our church years ago, which is Mount Airy Church of God in Christ, Pastor Morris, at our church in Philadelphia.
Yes.
You're an
Okay.
icon, you know, you're a legend, and we're just so honored to be here.
Thank
We
you.
really are, we really are. And we want to thank Kim Jacobs for having us to connect us with you as well. Amen.
Now, I want to know, once again, how did the two of you meet?
So,
You want to start first?
yeah, I'll start with that part.
Yeah, I want to hear your side, and then I want to hear his side.
All right. all
Okay,
right.
so we met when I was in my final year of high school. I worked for a little pizza shop in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. And while working there, I happened to go into the bathroom. You know, that day, for some reason, I was sad. I don't remember why I was sad, but I remember going into the bathroom, and when I went into the bathroom, Dr. Les, I prayed. I prayed a prayer that went a little something like, Lord, please bless me with someone like my Uncle Dalton. I don't want to be promiscuous. I don't want to just date around. I just want a relationship of longevity. And I remember going back out into the shop, and the staff was like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm okay. Later on that day, my girlfriend, I had attended a college preparatory school, and it was also a performing arts school.
Mhm.
And she was picking me up from school to go to a movies. And when she came to pick me up, we were walking down the street, and here this car comes driving by. And as they're driving by, there are three gentlemen in the car, and they looked and kept on going. But next thing I know, they were coming back around the block.
Ah, yes.
And so a little bit up the ways this time, they stopped a little bit ahead of us, so that by the time we walked to that point, they would have met up with us. And that was how I met my husband that day. He'll tell a little bit more about the story.
Okay, would you fill in and move it forward, sir?
Yeah, so for me, this was 36 years ago. So I pulled up, and I was with my two cousins. Now we're Hispanics, so I made a bet that day that I would just only speak Spanish. And so when I met my wife, I started speaking Spanish to her because I had a bet with my cousins. So we was driving around, and understand that I was in a bad place with drugs and things like that. So I wanted a change in my life. I didn't know what that was and what it looks like, right? So when I met, my wife, I started speaking Spanish, and she was like, well, how are we going to do this? And my cousin said, well, I can translate, and we can just go ahead, back in the day, the rotary phone.
Oh, she didn't speak Spanish?
Not at the time. Well, she understood because she had Spanish
In school.
classes.
Okay.
Right. So it was fresh for her. She didn't know all of it, but she did understand some of
Mhm.
Spanish, which was good. And she was interested in getting to know me better.
Yeah, love will make a way. Come on, somebody. Yes.
So at that time, we got each other's numbers, and then we just went our ways. Several hours later, and
Several hours later.
Several
Several hours later. We're in
Mhm.
a total different part of Philadelphia. We're coming out of the movie theater, walking down the street, and my girlfriend's trying to ditch these two guys that was trying to hang on. And who comes riding down the street once again? Listen, that's when you know that it was purpose, okay?
Yeah, you know what they said? Coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. Yes.
Amen. I like that.
I love it. I love
It's-
it.
So 36 years later, and here's what you're doing now. You're building legacy. You are helping relationships and couples and individuals. You're providing learning platforms for singles, preparing to embark on their marital journey. And Dr. Serrano, you're committed to saving marriages and restoring families. And your motto is save a family, save a community. Talk to us about that. Save a family, save a community. That
Yeah.
sounds natural, but expand on that. Unpack that for us up in here.
Listen, so my husband and I started a foundation. We started a nonprofit organization called Covenant Rescue 911. It is a 24-hour hotline for couples or families in crisis. And so for the past 30 years, we have been dedicating ourselves to couples. But it goes a step further because we really are called to leaders. And so those that are behind the podium or behind the pulpit, those in corporate. And so we're able to help couples that are in high places to know that they have someone. And we tell them that, listen, we're here. We're like the midwives to couples. We're here to walk alongside you in this journey called marriage, covenant. And we know that forever is a long time, but we believe that if you're dedicated, committed, and sold out, you can have forever in your marriage.
Absolutely.
Have you seen a spike in the need for the work that you're doing since the pandemic?
Well, yes, during the pandemic, we were really busy because a lot of the marriages that were not crossing in paths that had to stay stationary at home had issues because they didn't know how to live together. They were so used to going out into the workplace, 2 or 3 jobs, and also cheating, right? Hanging out with other people and other women and things like that. So it really went high because we got a lot of phone calls. We was on Zooms. They didn't know what to do because they had to start again.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to begin again because they were so used to just their regular, activities and just going to work and back and forth. So they didn't know how to communicate again. So even now, going back into the workplace, it started again. Because guess what? Now they're going back into the workplace and they're going back into the things they used to do. So, infidelity is a serious thing, man. And it's like a death in the family. And, you can recover from that. It's just a lot of, you have to put a lot of work into it, and it has to be intentional. So that's what we find a lot of problems in the relationships, is that they're just not faithful because they don't want to put the work in. The grass is not greener on the other side. You just have to nourish and water your side, and it will grow just as much or even better than the other side.
Wow.
But if you go over there, you'll find out the water bill is higher.
I like that one too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely an increase, Dr. Les, definitely an increase, not only with couples, but also with their children.
But what do you do and how do you advise a couple that suffer from, and I went through this, delayed enlightenment. She was not who I thought she was, and I wasn't who she thought I was.
Yeah.
I know you've run into this. I'm not the only one up in here. I'm talking about my pre-saved years.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Well, absolutely. We run into that a lot, right? The thing about it is, Dr. Les, is that we have, when we're counseling or coaching our clients, one of the things we tell them is this is a time to get clear about the man or the woman in the mirror. It's really more about you than it is about your mate. And so a lot of people have had to come face to face with themselves. And they really found out that I'm not everything I thought I was, or they found out, whoa, I'm more than who I thought I was. And so it is a real come to face with reality of who you are as an individual. And I think it's very important that they get clear on who they are before they can know who we are.
Now, I'm sure that you believe in getting counseling before getting married so that you don't end up singing the song, I feel lonely whenever you are around.
Yes. How true is it? Wow.
So we encourage that as much as possible. A lot of people always say, I'll get with you when I get somebody and we can kind of fellowship so you can guys get a feel of them. And that's not good enough. That's good and that's great, but you do need premarital counseling. And what I mean by that is 12 to 16 weeks of consistent counseling on a weekly basis, because sometimes most of these couples are living together already. So they already can see the signs. But for those that are not living together, they can't see the signs because they're not actually in their space.
Yeah.
So premarital counseling is important because how you grow up and the things that you were raised with is a lot of things that you are still attached to in your marriage.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yes.
premarital counseling is a must.
We're taught forgetting those things which are behind, reaching forth into those things which are before. But I remember waking up in the middle of the night. There was a movie on called Magnolia, and there was a line in there that really touched me. It said, we might be through with our past, but our past is not through with us.
Wow. Absolutely. Wow.
Yes. And I found that I was sabotaging myself in relationships, and I didn't know why. And then after going through some counseling with someone like the two of you, I felt that if I was given away at birth, there must be something wrong with me. And it's just a matter of time that you're going to leave me. And if not, I'm going to conduct myself in such a way you're going to have to go because I don't feel deserving of love.
Yeah.
How do you help people to check themselves, to be brutally honest with themselves and get the help that they need to increase their own sense of self-worth so they can become the kind of person that somebody want to be? Well, first of all, to be with themselves first.
Absolutely.
Absolutely right.
One of the things, and I know Dr. Serrano will piggyback off this, is that we go through a process of trace, erase, and replace.
Trace, erase,
and replace.
And replay. Oh, come on, dog. Come on. You know what? Y'all coming for me, but I ain't scared of you. Trace, erase, and replace. I'm gonna borrow that from you. And I'm gonna tell you I got it from. Walk us through that.
So trace, erase, and replace is a cognitive therapy session that I went through with Dr. Rick McKinney out of California, who once was here in Philadelphia. He created this program. It was a faith-based program. And so we went through that program. That program taught us how to help inmates who were coming back into society, moving back in with their families. How do we help them to stay clean, right? How do we help them to not go back into the system? Well, we learned the trace, erase, and replace therapeutic way of handling it, which was to listen. You have to trace why you got there in the first place. What is the root of the situation? Not the act that you performed, but why did you perform the act? Until you understand the why, then you can't be clear on the fact that you won't go back, right? So then we, after tracing it back to whatever it was in their past, in their history, in their pain that they suffered, that they went to, that caused them to get into this trouble, then we erase it. We erase that thought, that pain, whatever it was that they were going through, and we replace it. Simply replacing it with the love of God, with the understanding of who you are, why you were birthed in the earth. Once you're clear on that, you can stay when you get home.
Absolutely.
Trace, erase, and replace.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, I'm talking to a dynamic, powerful couple that's helping people to restore their marriages, Dr. Richard and Dr. Nephetina Serrano. And you're based in?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
And if people want to get in touch with you?
Yes, they can go to our website.
Covenant Marriages, covenantmarriagesinc.com. And they can also call the 215, what's that number?
855. Yeah, it's 855-737-2911.
But you have a program, am I correct?
We do. We have our program, of course, is a 24-hour hotline for couples or families in crisis. And that is the crisis number that I gave you, the 855-737-2911. But they can also, if they're trying to reach us, you can also reach out to our social media contact, which is www.marriageceos360.com.
Okay, now but when you think about where people are facing challenges in their marriages, so that's the same number they can call to get some coaching and counseling on how they can resolve some of the challenges that they're facing and to restore communication and rebuild the marriage?
That's correct. So the Covenant Rescue one is a hotline. So it's anonymous for them. They call, and if they have any questions and kind of see the direction that they need to go in. So that's where we can get them to a safe place. We talk to them to make sure everything is okay with them. And then the other number, which is Covenant Marriages, where they can actually make an appointment for counseling, is a 215-550-1747. So that's Covenant Marriages. So we have the nonprofit Covenant Rescue, and then Covenant Marriages is our number where they can call for counseling.
Absolutely. And Dr. Les, we have a show.
Okay, tell me about the show. I want people to see your show because I'm going to be watching it. Yes, I'm already one of your groupies.
We have the Serrano Show, and it is now airing on all of our social media. They can subscribe to our YouTube channel, theserranoshow.com, and they will be connected. And every week, every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they will be connected to us, and it'll prompt them to come on and view the show. And none other than Kim Jacobs was our instructor, so it is a good show.
Yes.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Okay, now but you also speak, am I correct?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so how can people get in touch with you if they'd like to invite you to their organization, to their corporation, and to their church, to hear the things that you like to share on how to begin to save marriages, to open up lines of communication where things are shut down, and begin to rebuild, to trace, erase, and replace?
Yeah. Well, right on our website, covenantmarriagesinc.com, they can go right to our website and they'll see all of our social medias there. They'll see all the contact information, all the pricing, and everything they need to do to contact us to book an appointment with us.
Absolutely.
You got so much good stuff. What's the latest book that you published?
So that was the Marriage Corporation. So she purchased she actually
Published a recent book.
Recent books, but the one we have together is the Marriage Corporation, Covenant Marriages, and that is the corporate strategies for fulfilling God's purpose in a covenant marriage, where we actually talk about the similarity in the office place with the home. So just like at work, you have different departments, the maintenance department, the accounting department, culinary department, security department. You also have those departments in your home.
Yeah.
So we talk about who is responsible and who owns those departments, because a lot of departments sometimes is by default, but you're not qualified. See, back in the day, they said, well, you know, remember Church of God in Christ. Well, now you're the man of the house, you have to do this and that. So now we say whoever is more qualified for the position, that's your position in your home.
Oh, man. You know what? The world needs to know about the two of y'all. Okay, now you have a book that you've done. Tell us about that, please, ma'am.
Yeah, so the book that I've done, and Kim is also in this book, it was a book collaboration. And you and I spoke once and spoke about it. It was derived out of a loss during the pandemic when my youngest brother sibling passed away suddenly. And out
Sorry
of
for
that,
your loss.
yeah,
Mhm.
thank you. It was a devastating time. You know, I never knew that you could hurt so deeply from the loss of a loved one. And through that devastation, one day the Lord literally, I was in bed and I heard, "Rise up from the ashes, you rise." And I got up and I looked around the room and there was no one there but me. And I called out to my husband and I said, "Oh, he went to work." So I was at home by myself because I was under the covers with the curtains closed, mourning the death of my brother. And so that book was birthed out of that. It's Rise Up, Women Who Lead, Building Legacy. And it is about the impact that you make in the earth. And we kind of follow your motto, Dr. Les Brown, and that is live full and die empty. And so through that book, we had 33 women, over 8 countries represented. We had Her Royal Highness Princess Maradi and Agulana, who did our forward. And it was just an amazing book. So we're super excited. 8 times bestseller, 3 times new release. And we're looking for it to be translated in 5 different languages. We're not through with this book yet.
Amen.
Come on now. That's what we're talking about up in here, up in here. Listen, you know what? I've got to bring y'all to Atlanta. We got to do something up in here.
Awesome.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Love Atlanta.
Whenever you call, we will make it happen.
Okay, so what is something as you look at your life and look at how disruptive life can be? What's something that you'd like to accomplish before you exit?
Wow. Wow, I think for me is I have such a passion for marriages, but definitely to get our institution where we can actually teach couples how to be successful in their marriage, and then also to teach other couples the same, because you know the foundation is the man and the woman.
Mhm.
The foundation. So if we're not right, and if we don't lead by example, then that means we're not leading anyone but ourselves. So I think, you know, for me, and I think we both have that same interest in the Marriage Institute, is to really build something really big, because with marriages, they're not being noticed anymore. A lot of people don't even want to get married because they're looking at their other married couples that they're not happy. So
Yes, and they're saying to themselves, it's better to be alone than to wish you were.
Come on, come on. But
absolutely, yeah.
you know, and that is so true. But I also believe that, I know forever is a long time,
Yeah.
but I believe that marriages have lost hope,
Yeah.
and believing that they can have that forever. And listen, we're not, you know, we haven't been extinct from problems, from issues, from devastation and loss within our marriage. We've gone through it. 34 years married, 36 together. We certainly know what it is to suffer, but we also know what it is to reign. We know what it is to have a good day. And so from having those down times, knowing that God is our foundation, He is the one upon that rock which we stand.
Right.
And so it has helped us to be able to weather the storms that do come raging. And I'm telling you, they come.
Yes.
Typhoons and the cyclones and the tsunamis. Oh, we know
Yes.
all about that, Dr. Les.
Yes, life be lifing.
But for me, personally, and I believe that this is one other thing that couples miss out on. In their moving toward oneness, Dr. Les, they forget that there is still an individual. And so a lot of times they're wrapping themselves around each other, but they forget that they were a gift. They were birthed into this earth with a purpose, individually as well as collectively. And so for me, I am so blessed to have a husband that sat me down and said, we need to have a meeting. And when I sat down and I said, oh, okay, come on, what are we talking about? He said, it's your time. My husband said, it's your time to go forward. I see you ministering on the phone. I see you talking to the women long hours. I see them calling you to come and support their platforms and their this and their that, but it's your time to go forward. And wow, that was a wake-up call for me. So, understanding.
I want you to pump your brakes. The Bible says a man who has a wife has a good thing, but I say a wife who has a husband like yours has a good thing, honey.
Yes.
Yes. I don't see how you restrain yourself from speaking in unknown tongues when he said that.
Come on, don't get me started now. You listen, he knows this is the cream in my coffee, okay?
Right,
come on now.
Listen,
Oh, behave.
he gets acknowledged everywhere I go, whether it's on a platform in Dubai or whether it's home in Pennsylvania. They know that Dr. Richard Serrano is my support. He is my boo and he is my bestie. We are friends first, because when we remember that, it keeps us more grounded in honoring each other and respecting each other and appreciating the individuality of who we are as individuals. So I'm looking to be on the platforms all around this nation to be able to share a word with women and couples and families to say to them, you are not alone. If we can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And just remember, you are the dream. That is the word that I will plant in the earth, Lord willing, before I'm gone. You are the dream walking, and we need to be the change that we desire. That's what I believe, and that's what I want to share with the world.
Dr. Richard Serrano and Dr. Nephetina Serrano, please give people information how they can reach out to you to bring you in to speak to them or get your coaching and direction, and the number for the 24-hour hotline that you have.
Yes, absolutely. So you definitely can reach out to us at drserrano360.com. That's DRSERRANOS 360.com. That, ladies and gentlemen, will connect you to all of our social media, where you can then click on any link. You can purchase our books and you can make appointments with us. You can have us to come speak to your organization and talk about relationships and how that works, as well as come and speak to your congregation and talk about covenant, kingdom building, and marriages, and how we can do that effectively in this life.
I feel so blessed to have had the opportunity to speak to two of you. We've got to do this again.
Absolutely. I sanction it.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to us sharing the stage too. I'm not scared of y'all. I want y'all to know, okay? And I want you to know, Dr. Richard, un poquito. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Adios, mi amigo.
Yeah.